Well, it's an hola boa noite from me, Carl Munson of expatsportugal.com, here on the Portugal Show, where it's time for another expat chat. And tonight we have with us, this is her full posh official name, Jacqueline Clair Bendle, everybody. And she's going to join me on the screen now to talk about her journey to Portugal, her life here in Portugal, and anything else you want to know. So do get your comments and questions coming in via the chat. Good evening to you. I'm going to call you Claire. Is that all right?
Yes, I prefer Claire. My dad called me Jacqueline Claire and then called me Jacqueline and Jackie at school, but she's crazy. The Irish way, they call you Jacqueline Claire and then call you Claire. And then you go to school and they call you Jacqueline and it's like, wow.
What, so now you're in Portugal, have you just made it official? You're just known as Claire here in Portugal?
It's just Claire, but still at work in England, it was Jackie, and at school it was Jackie, and someone would shout down the road Claire and someone would shout the other side of the road Jackie, and people would be going, what is going on?
Well, it's lovely to be talking to you again. You're going to be telling us about your part of Portugal, why you came to be here. I mean, it'd be great to talk about your fabulous videos as well on YouTube, on your YouTube channel, because when we last spoke, you were, I think, fairly new into the project of doing that, and I'm assuming it's going well, and you're looking fabulous. A great reflection of the project as well. Even though I've kept you up late, you weren't too keen on being interviewed in the evening, were you? I think you like an early night.
I do. I'm not a late night party animal.
Okay, all right. And also, I think what might be of interest to people is that you're on the move at the moment, possibly selling up where you are, not leaving Portugal, going. Yes, there you go. She wants to be here, everybody. So let's begin. Where are you and how long have you been there in Portugal? And folks, as I said, do get your questions coming in. This is all about having a chat with somebody who lives here, who can actually give you their first-hand testimony, their experience. And that's what you can call upon tonight with Claire chatting to me for the next, I don't know, half hour, 3/4 of an hour. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So we moved here in 2018. 2018, at the start of 2018, because my husband had a brain tumor at the end of 2016.
Whoa.
It was horrific. But if you're going to have a brain tumor, have the one he has, because it was operable, removable, and non-cancerous.
Thank goodness for that.
Very lucky. He was very lucky.
Yes.
And he had to recover from that, and then he found out that he couldn't no longer work a full 8-hour day. He's just got chronic fatigue. And he's a lot better now, but he's still never going to be 100%. And work he couldn't physically stand up for 8 hours and do the job he used to do, which was a shop manager. He just couldn't do it.
Fair enough. Well, and you thought, okay, we have to change our lives.
Yeah, we decided, well, what can we do now? I don't want to work full time and support the family, because that would just mean work-life balance was terrible. So we looked at various places. We did look at France, buying a carp lake, because my husband fishes. But that can be fraught with disaster, and France is not as warm and as welcoming as Portugal. No disrespect to the French, but the Portuguese are lovely.
Yeah. You ruled France out, and I think, I mean, I don't know, it might be, although I was just about to say it might be a kind of British French thing, but I think Americans have a similar awkward relationship with the French, but maybe least soonest mended with that. So you ruled France out. I mean, a carp lake sounds very attractive. So you're going to buy a fishing business there, were you?
Yeah, that's what we thought. We might buy one, but they're really expensive, and then there's taxes. And if you don't oxygenate, it gets cold in France, colder than here, Portugal Central. And if you don't oxygenate them, they can all just die, and you wake up in the morning and your business is gone. So so we decided against that.
Yes, fair enough.
And Spain, well, Spain's great, but again, the people aren't as friendly, we've heard, and taxes are more, and houses are more, and it's hotter a lot more, but it depends on where you want to be, because sometimes it's barren, and we wanted water, definitely our own water, a place to grow our own vegetables. Mark loves gardening, he did in England, and so now we settled on Portugal, and put the 2 dogs in the back of the RAV4, Jessica, my teenage daughter, in the back, and the caravan, and set off.
Fantastic. And in 2018?
Yeah, January, freezing.
Oh, of course, yeah. Arriving in Portugal, well, leaving a cold England and finding Portugal probably its coldest. So, where did you? What was your target, your destination, or were you just coming to Portugal and that was it?
No, Central was our destination, but we didn't want the coast. We're not beach people really, and we've heard that further out inland of the beach can be quite cold and misty, and I don't know, but that was just what I'd learned, gleaned. And we looked at Penella. Penella was lovely.
Yeah.
But I read on one forum, I've been on lots of forums, that south of Penella is warmer in the winter.
Yeah.
So we came south of Penella, only by about 40 minutes. That's how far south we are of Penella. So we came to Cernache de Bonjardim, and I'd never been here before. I'd never been to Portugal before. My husband had been on holiday to the Algarve, but me, no.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. Cernache de Bonjardim. Okay, I'm gonna put a link. Find a link to that. Probably just the Wikipedia link's as good a place to start for anybody. So I'll put that in the comments so that people can see where you are, and I might even bring the map up myself. Because
7 minutes away.
7 minutes from the village of. Okay,
yeah,
fair enough. So there it is. It's in the comments now, the Wikipedia listing, which should keep it fairly neutral, and you can make your own judgment about whether you want to be in that part of central Portugal, having found out a bit more information tonight from Claire, who's with us. How long did that take then? So I mean, I agree with you. I think Penella's beautiful. It's quite mountainous though, isn't it? So obviously that would account for the colder weather in the winter. And you do actually see, I remember being in Penella, beautiful castle, beautiful place, lovely people. It's a wonderful town. And you see those ice signs, don't you, when you're driving on the mountain road? So I'm thinking to myself, okay, it could get cold here in the winter, and you're corroborating that for us.
Yeah. South of Penella, someone said on one forum that it doesn't get like to freezing. I mean, we've been to 0 here, but it's a microclimate where we are. My friend who lives east of Cernache, she can't grow fruit trees, and where we live we've got an abundance of fruit trees, so, and that's only 15-20 minutes drive. So
well, that's interesting. So even though you can get an idea of different temperatures, climate, not temperatures but climate in Portugal, you do get microclimates within the macroclimate. Okay, so that's worth bearing in mind. All right, so let's have a look. I'll show you on the map now, everybody, where Claire is talking about. I mean, you couldn't get more central than that, could you? That's pretty much where you are. Yeah.
We are central.
Your municipality is Certa, is it?
It is. I say Certa. I probably say it wrong. I always say everything wrong in Portuguese.
Well, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying I say Certa. But it's like potato, I guess. And but I mean, the important thing is to give everybody an idea of the location. To give a context to what you're talking about there. So tell us a little bit more about this place you're 7 minutes from, and its attractions and what you like about it.
Cernache de Bonjardim is called Bon is good, Jardim is garden, and Cernache means place of the good garden.
Sounds good.
It's wonderful. And it's got the best little cake shop. Oh, you go in there and they just make fresh cakes every day, and they are to die for. Well, to diet for.
And that is quite a claim, Claire, I have to say. The best cake shop, because you're up against about 2 million cake shops, I would have thought, in Portugal. So, but you hold that claim, do you?
I think it's called the Diamond. I'm sure it's called the Diamond Cake Shop. And it's on the main high street, just down the road from a butcher's and across the road from the bank. And there's a fruit and veg shop. Oh, we love that shop. It's a little market shop. Yeah. So that's the best fruit and veg shop. around, and it's by the taxi station across the road from the spa. They've got a spa now. They never used to have a spa. She's come along. I find it quite expensive.
Yeah, okay. So you stick to the local shops?
I do a shop there, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And the local butchers. So
so still like proper local Portuguese life. You've got the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. It's the vibe some people might be looking for. I mean, and typically this is central Portugal is a lot like this. And we have to say, it's possibly on a bit of a knife edge, isn't it, with the pandemic, and it's important to get here quick and support these local shops.
Absolutely, we love our local shop. The bread man comes round and you hang a bag outside on a lamppost.
Wow.
Swear, and you just put in a note of what you want, like 10 pecanina pau, and he leaves you 10 bread rolls at 6:30 in the morning when I'm fast asleep.
That's a good service, isn't it? That is a very good service.
He comes on a Tuesday, and then I pay him for the bread.
Okay, amazing. Well, Paul thinks he's just settled recently in the Algarve, and maybe we'll talk to Paul one evening like this and have a cozy chat with Paul one night, because it's great. I mean, it's really lovely finding out about people's personal stories of being in Portugal and why they chose where they are. And Paul agrees with you. It's a lovely part of the world. We've had a good evening from Eric as well over there in the States tonight. So any questions, folks, already for Claire and the journey, the place? And so how did you, I mean, one question that people ask is, how do you find the property? So what you rocked up in this village, did you, and started asking, are these houses for sale?
Oh, no, I went on online, and I was looking at lots of places, and I'd shortlisted them. And we'd been round 5 places. One of them had already been sold, and the estate agent didn't know. She's knocking on the door, and he's like, no, it's gone already. They hadn't informed the estate agent who they were with that they'd already sold it. One was next to like the IC8, was in the front garden sort of thing, and we were like,
that's a motorway, isn't it, basically? A freeway, as our American friends would call it, yeah.
And the others were just not suitable, like terraces. One we went to see, and the garden looked like it had been freshly dug up, and it had, but by Jacqueline.
Oh, wild boar.
Wild boar. We were in the garden on the night when you were sleeping, and I went, got 2 dogs.
Yes. So you were put off that one by the wild boar visit. Okay, fair enough.
And that one now, how strange, it was bought by a woman I now know called Belinda Raitt, and she runs a retreat, and a yoga-like retreat, and an Airbnb, and yeah, so she took it on and she made it beautiful.
Fantastic. Not put off by the Javali there. Okay.
No. I don't know if they still come and visit, but she didn't.
No, amazing.
So
amazing.
Then this was only a week into our visit. We'd organised to stop at a little a monthly like cottage that we paid for on a monthly basis, and we couldn't get a caravan park because in January they're like sort of closed, February. So we couldn't find anywhere to stop that had electric, and we sort of needed electric, no candlelight or So a week into our stay, my daughter found this one online, and she went, we'll go and see that one. And it was very far north. We were in Abrantes. You know where Abrantes is?
Yep.
So we were in Abrantes, and we wanted to look around that area just a bit further off, but this is an hour north.
Okay, all right. So you were settled some way. Well, you've ended up some way from where you originally landed and thought you were going to be.
Yeah, Tomar area we were looking around there, Martin Shaw and places like that.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And then we found this house, and just my husband sat on the wall. We'd looked inside it. It was beautiful, like the finishes and the furniture, the door furniture, and built-in wardrobes, built-in office, and patio doors onto a balcony, just stunning. And he sat on the garden wall and went, do you hear that? And I went, no, I don't. He went, exactly. Turned to the estate agent. He went, do you like the house? And I said, yeah. He said, right, we're buying it. And I was like, blown away. We'd only been there 10 minutes.
Fantastic. Oh, that's wonderful.
So he just loved the tranquility. And we've got a view of a lovely church on a hill. And now our neighbours are our best friends. I went olive picking for them on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then spent Thursday in bed because I was shattered.
So you're not
used to hard work.
You're not proper Portuguese yet, then, because I think I mean, I'm the same actually. I was helping my landlady pick walnuts, and I'm thinking, yeah, I'm the good life guy. Here I am picking walnuts. Pretty knackered after about an hour of it. She's carrying on and doing it. She's doing it in her lunch hour, after work, at the weekends, and everything. And there I am, fair weather walnut picker. We've got some work to do, haven't we? Into the actual discipline and fitness, I think, of local people.
They are amazing. They're like machines. They just wind up toys, wind them up, and they go. They never stop. They had me only picking from 9:30 in the morning, and then they took us for lunch at their house. Beautiful. And then we were back out again till 5:30. Mark only survived the morning because he gets fatigue, and they know that, and they compensate for that, and they're just great. And then yesterday they came around and brought us a litre of olive oil for all that.
It's pressed already. It's pressed already, or was that last year?
Oh, they pressed it already, but I think this was last year's because they know you're not allowed to drink it or use it. But I'm not drinking it. I don't.
You could drink it. It's good enough to drink, I think.
I did bread in it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think some people do swig it. It's a tonic, isn't it? Amazing. Okay, so just going back to your bread comment, Gary's here tonight. Garvo's in. Have you seen the mailboxes with the letter section and then the bit for the bread underneath? I've seen that.
No,
no, you can get that an integrated letter and bread box. And I've seen it on a really posh modern house near where I live. And it's got, Correo, I think, for post, and then Pal for the bread underneath. Fantastic.
That's awesome.
Lita is here as well. Bonne nuit, Claire. Love your videos. How is hubby's cookbook coming along? Well, we'll come back to that in just a moment because that sounds important. I am surprised at the temperature fluctuations. Where would have year-round temperatures that never dip below 10 degrees C. Lovely to hear your experience, Claire. It does go beneath 10 over in Castelo Branco, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It goes to like zero. Very occasionally. It's and
this is where that's the mountain effect, I think, isn't it? So I think you've got to get away from the Estrellas, Eugene. Good evening to you, by the way, Eugene. I think you've got to get away from the mountain for that. And then I was going to say go to Alentejo, but even in the plains, you're going to get a drop in temperature. That's the thing about Portugal. Said it before, I'll say it again, and it's not my invention, this, but someone I know, Darren, mentioned this to me. He said someone told him that it's a cold country with a hot sun. And I think that's a really quite a good description of Portugal. Is when the sun's hot, it does cool down, and the temperature ranges here are extraordinary. I mean, you mentioned Tamar earlier on. In the high islands of Tamar, you're talking about zero temperatures. Yet it can get up to 45 in the summer. That's an incredible range of temperature, isn't it?
It got to 47 here once, and my chicken died of heat stroke.
Whoa, dear, oh dear, hot chicken.
2 years ago, poor thing.
We went here.
Yeah, she went. Overnight, we put her in a dark room, and my husband fed her with honey water to try and cheer her up. And we were out getting the car. We only had one car. It was getting regassed for the heat wave. And we didn't know the heat wave was actually happening that day. It just sprung on us. And we were away for 4.5 hours, and we came back, and she was lying on the floor, gasping for breath. So we took her into a dark, cool, like the Adega, and put some straw down, put her in a box, and fed her honey water in a beak. But she's still there.
Good heavens, what a story. That's how hot it can get, right? And we're not used to it. We're not used to it, are we? And that fluctuation. So Eugene, I don't know, maybe that we can put that to the group mind here. He doesn't want to. I think he's sick of damp winters in Ireland, and he doesn't want to go beneath 10 degrees, which you can understand. So, anyone else answer that question for us tonight? Is the cake shop the Pastelaria Imperial?
I think it could be. It could be.
Sounds like that might be Bravo's favourites.
It's on the right-hand side, and it's near the butcher on the corner, across the road from the bank.
All right. If you go in, do say you've been listening to the Portugal show. I was listening to a conversation between some expats, and they said we've got to come in here. So give our best to the Pastelaria Imperial when you get there. Stick it on your list. We've got these long lists, Claire, of all the things we want to do in Portugal. That Pastelaria is on the list, I think. What are the challenges for expats relocating to Portugal? We will come back to that, Judy. It's a fantastic question. Elsa, evening all. I'm here taking it all in. Brilliant. Lovely to have your company, Elsa. Very dedicated to our live streaming. Nice to see. Thank you. But Claire and Carl, I like the beautiful Bonjardim, but it was too hilly for our horses. Claire, I like your blog. So you've got a couple of fans in tonight. Gianni being one of them in Belgium this evening. Thanks, Gianni, for your comment. Bonoit sounds like a fabulous place Claire is describing. Yeah, for sure. So we've got those couple of questions up with the challenges, because, you know, there's obviously we're talking a lot of upside so far, and there may have been one or two challenges. There usually are. That's life, isn't it? And what was the other question we had? Oh, about hubby's cookbook. So let's come back to those challenges. Tell us about hubby's cookbook.
Well, he's the chef in the family. I've got to say, that's why I married him. He's an awesome chef. I don't like cooking. Don't like cleaning either. I don't really like exercise, but it makes me look good, so I must do it.
Yeah. Whereas you can't say the same thing for cleaning, can you, really? That just makes the house look good.
Yes, my house looks great at the minute because it's for sale, so it's tidied to death. Husband's quite happy because he's like, oh, it's lovely. Keep it like this, I'm like.
That's right. There's something different about this room.
Yeah, it looks great. So, husband's cookbook. So I eat what he cooks. So, and I've lost 33, 34 pounds this year, and I've kept it off, which is awesome. I've never been able to do that, really. I've always been like yo-yo dieter. You lose it, then you put it back on. But for the past 10 months, it's been just great. Apart from the fact I can't eat as much as I want to, but I compensate by dreaming about it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But no,
that's low calorie.
Mark makes wonderful food. So I said to him, well, he was doing a cookbook anyway. And now I'm just incorporating into like my best recipes that he makes that are good for me. You know, like not low calorie, not low fat. I don't do this low fat. I don't do it. It's awful. I believe in fat, butter, sugar, salt. I love all the bad things. And they're all nutrients. You need them all. Yes, so I don't cut out anything.
Good for you. Never. I mean, we fell for that nonsense in the 80s and 90s, didn't we? About low fat and calorie counting. It's been proven not to be. I mean, you know, that's not to say it hasn't worked for some people. Some people can make it work, and then maybe other factors. But I think better wisdom has come, hasn't it, since then?
It has. You need fat and cheese, and it was proven. As I was listening to you this morning with scientists.
Oh dear!
It's like, whose science do you believe?
Yes.
Like breakfast is good for you, said Mr. Kellogg's. Yeah.
Yes, he was a funny so-and-so. I mean, if you're going to take advice from, was he Dr. Kellogg, or whoever he was, look him up. Before you start taking advice from Kellogg, you need to find out the backstory behind that strange gentleman. Absolutely. He was a funny guy. So fat, sugar, salt, but in moderation by the sound of it. And this is what
everything in moderation. I mean, I drink wine and beer and liqueur because I make my own off my orange trees and lemon trees. Oh yeah. Well, the neighbours give me aguardente. How can you not?
As well. We're coming. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll talk about Mark's book, then we'll look at some of the downside, and then we'll talk about booze. I think that's quite a good trajectory. So the book is how are you going to publish the book? Is it going to be a set of recipes? Is it going to be illustrated? Are you going to do YouTube? How's it going to work?
Yeah, I'm going to publish it on Kindle PDF, and it'll be available in a softback and as a Kindle download, because I've already published 2 books. My daughter did one and I did one. And yeah, so I can do the process. So he just is writing out all, like we were taste testing tonight. He made Italian chicken. Gorgeous. Oh. I just eat a bit less than he does, you know, less portions.
Yeah, but you can't tell us about Italian chicken without saying more about that. What's the flavor or the ingredients? Well, give us a bit more about on Italian chicken.
What's in Italian chicken? I think it's like tomato sauce. He makes his own tomato sauce from his own garlic, onions, and tomatoes.
Oh, fantastic!
Because he grows all them. He's brilliant. So yeah, garlic, tomatoes, and onions, sautéed and fried off, and then I think it's some bay leaf. Then you have to make the sauce, and I think some herbs. We've got thyme in the garden and sage, but I couldn't tell you what.
No, I get it. I understand. That's his department, isn't it? But I mean, I'm getting a sense of that, and obviously you can grow the bay leaves and all the herbs when you're in Portugal as well. When's it coming out?
It's got a bay leaf tree.
Yeah. And they're so abundant, aren't they? Yes, that's right.
It's amazing. And he grows chilies and peppers, Mark. So yeah, we've got so much. It's unbelievable.
So when's the book going to come out?
Well, it isn't finished yet. So what is it now? November. It's not going to come out for Christmas. Probably March, April, spring. So if we get a move on.
All right. Well, he's obviously very welcome, or both of you come back and chat about the book when it's ready.
Absolutely.
And nice to feature a recipe. So yeah, good luck with that. That sounds fantastic. We have everything in moderation, says Chris, who's tuned in over there on the other side of the water, including moderation. Excellent. Mad Dog McCrossan, as he's now known. That's Eugene's nickname here. And he'll be very interested in the Aguardente and you brewing your own orange liqueur. He'll stay tuned for that, I'm sure. It does get a bit chilly and wet here, but after summer, you kind of don't mind it too much. That's an interesting comment, Gary, for sure. Great place to grow stuff, and you can buy stills in the local shops. How good is that? Bake your own firewater. I guess that keeps you warm, doesn't it? That'll keep you warm in a cold damn winter. Oh, and I think he's taken up a new hobby, which I'm not going to read out on the screen just at the moment. But you could. I mean, that comment needs contextualizing. It's not as terrible as it sounds. Which nobody will believe that, will they? When I'm in Portugal, I will do the exercises and try your balanced food. That's something to look forward to as well. Fantastic. Elsa says, good home cooked food made with homegrown vegetables will not make you fat or unhealthy. It's the horrendous processed food that is bad for you. Well said there, Elsa.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, Doreen tuned in as well from the States in Maryland. 24 degrees in Maryland. I often get people to tell us what the temperature is over there. 24 in Maryland. Hello, enjoying, and thank you for doing that in centigrade. That's very helpful to us people here. Hello, enjoying watching this in the US during my nature walk in the woods. We are being watched in the woods. Isn't that fantastic? Which sounds a bit dodgy when I say that out loud. But there you go. Downsides of moving to Portugal. Did you encounter any? How was the process of buying a house?
Absolutely. Language. I'm terrible at it. Absolutely. Now born at language.
Okay.
So the driving, it's a bit dodgy. Right. They're nice and calm. Then they get in a car and they're like Michael Schumacher used to be. So yeah, it's a bit scary. You coming gently on a road and there's someone on the other side of the road coming towards you, your side, and you're like,
yeah, you can relax about that. Eventually they get to their own side. I'm used to that now.
Are you?
Yeah. I feel like I've really sort of made the transition, but I understand what you're saying. But these are cultural things that you struggle with there. So language, you don't see yourself as a linguist, so obviously that's a bit of a challenge, a big one.
I'll try. I know lots of names in the garden, and I walked around my village. I walk around my village every day with my doggy. We had 2 dogs when we came here. Unfortunately, Ben got really old and ill, and he was 12, and so he's gone. I've got a lovely little dog, and all the Portuguese love her. Oh my God, she's beautiful. She's a little labradoodle, miniature labradoodle. So she's all fluffy and gorgeous, and they all cuddle her. And they never see a dog on the lead. And I'm always walking around. And that's how I got to know everyone. That's the way to do it. Walk around. And they invite you in for wine. And I'm like, I got home drunk. It was great. I'd only been out an hour. I'd had 4 glasses of wine.
This is the fittest dog in the area because it gets walked 4 times a day, chatting to neighbours and being invited in for a drink.
So
you're not exactly
last week I was walking her, and my lovely neighbour Amelia, she said, come, she had a big bag of chestnuts. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with them. So I talked to her in my limited Portuguese. She dragged me in her house. She showed me every utensil. She showed me where to cut it, then to put it in this container above a fire. And I said, but I don't have a fire like that. I know I've got a log burner. So when I got home, I cut it, put it in, and you got to put it flat side down, round side up. You cut it. Oh, she showed me everything. She's wonderful. And then I put it in the normal fire. We lit the log burner, wrapped it up in tin foil, and put them in. And then today she said, "How was it?" And I said, "It was wonderful." She went, "Don't eat too much because you'll get the."
Oh, they give you a bit of gas today, the old chestnuts?
No, worse than gas. Worse.
Oh, really? Okay, so right, okay, fair enough.
So she said, "Don't eat too many of them," and she's adorable, and the people are just wonderful. We were talking about downsides, and I'm just on the upside.
I did notice. This was Judy Coe's question, which is an understandable question, but it's difficult for Claire to stay negative. Talking about all these lovely things. So we talked about driving and the language, which are things to get used to and take on board.
Bureaucracy. So many pieces of paper they want.
Okay. Yeah.
And then some people will tell you one thing, and some people will tell you the other thing in the same office, and it's like, there's no continuity.
Multiple.
But I had a wonderful solicitor, and she sorted out residency, and I just sit there and she talks, and I'm like, I like.
What, she goes with you to your appointments?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Fabulous.
Well, there's
the estate agent, she got our NIP sorted out, our bank account, and it's just like, I'm so glad because I can't. We just landed and I couldn't speak a word. I said, "Hola," that was my only word. Yeah.
So. Well, that gets the party started, doesn't it? And having a nice dog. So practice your hola and have a nice dog and go walking about the village, and you'll make loads of friends, clearly. And then get yourself good professionals around you, like a good solicitor. And so it sounds like you've got a great recommendation in your solicitor there. So we'll have to find out from you who that is as well to get them on the Expat forum. Superb. And a good experience of an estate agent as well who took on things for you too, by the sound of it.
Oh, fabulous.
Great. Okay, so that's your method is to give it up to the professional.
Make friends with people who can speak Portuguese and English. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
But none of my neighbours really speak Portuguese and English, and my neighbour who lives just a little bit away, I went and asked our best friend Carlos, and I said, "Carlos, I need to buy wood, and I've been to see my usual wood person, and they haven't got any." And he rang up about 3 people, and he said, "No, I can't find you any, but leave it with me," like Google Translation. And like 2 days later, this truck appeared outside, and it was my 2 neighbours with a truckload of wood, and they just chucked it in my garden. And I gave them a beer while we were doing it. And it was like, "How much?" And it's like, "No, nothing." And I'm like,
"You're kidding."
So I had to go and take I had to go and take him a crate of beer and a big lemon meringue pie, because I make the best lemon meringue pie.
Yes.
And I said, "Did you eat the full entire lemon meringue?" And he said, "No, I took it to work," because he's a Bomberos. I took it to work and I shared it out among all his colleagues. So.
That is a beautiful story. That's amazing.
And I do that at Christmas. That's wonderful. And we've had all sorts of vegetables, and they're stunning people.
It is it's social capital, isn't it? Social capitalism, with the community helping each other out, and just
absolutely.
That is a really good touch as well. Keep cold beer in the fridge. Goes a long
Absolutely.
way with gentlemen visitors, doesn't it? Is if there's any fellas coming that maybe some Tremoso beans as well if they're staying for a little while. Are you reaching for
Yeah,
your?
they're great. Mark loves them.
I thought you were just about to grab a jar of Tremoso there as you reached off camera. But yeah,
No,
cold beer in the fridge.
It's water. No, it's not neat vodka, it's water.
We believe you. However, someone did say on the subject of drink, hi guys, I can confirm Claire likes alcohol and Mark's a great cook. So you've been outed there. Good evening to you, Karen. Hello. Hello, snowing in Denver, Colorado. We're finding out from Kevin Spriggs. Hope this is useful to you tonight, Kevin. And I guess that's a beautiful sight, but you could tire of it after a little while. That's often the case with snow, isn't it? Claire, where are you moving as your house is for sale? So what's the story? We're hearing how lovely it is, and now you're getting rid of it. What's going on there?
I know. So our friends who used to live in the village with us before we moved to England, before we moved from England, sorry, that we were waiting for them to come over and live near us. Well, they've decided to live in Tamar. So now
they've done the opposite to
you. Closer to us, but no. So we're trying to find a house close to our friends. So.
Okay, all right. So yeah, that can make a big difference, can't it?
You got wine.
I just sort of flashing this to the camera. This is a Colette Veglio. I'm not very familiar with Tejo wines. And this one was in Continent, our supermarket, and it was reduced from $8.99 to $2.89 a bottle. So I thought
for the supermarket?
Continent on offer at the moment at Continent, and I just thought, I mean,
we don't have one. We don't have one.
Oh, sorry to hear that, but I'm not a massive fan of wine. I just feel like I should taste it for public education and a service to the community.
Absolutely.
So I will let you know how that goes.
My husband makes his own wine here because we've got like 150 grapevines.
Really?
And we had our friends over. His friend from London came over, and we actually got him to tread the wine, the grapes. We got him to pick them, tread them. And his mum said, because he came with his mum and his wife and his son, and she said it was the best day ever. Coming to ours, picking the grapes, having lunch and treading the grapes, and then drinking the wine that we'd made like last year. So, and it was a wonderful experience.
You're so Portuguese in so many ways already, aren't you, in that short space of time? Elsa saying, I found a fabulous expat surveyor who lives in Timor. Do send us your contacts, please, Elsa, or give them a shout out. These people, if you jump on the expatsportugal.com forum and let us know. He's magnificent and his surveys are top class. We need to know about people like that. So do share, please, Elsa. Awesome. Good man, Carl. I'm getting a thumbs up for my public service work here, sampling Portugal's wines. Gary, are you tippling tonight? Sadly, Gary found out about chestnuts the hard way, Claire. It's worse with conkers. They make you sick. Oh, that must have been when he was a kid. He was roasting conkers, not sweet chestnuts. Or is that the sweet chestnut?
I thought you could roast conkers. Are they not real chestnuts then? What's the difference?
I think well, Gary may tell us, but hopefully not in too graphic detail about that. Gary, conkers, bonkers, more like, by the sound of it. Oh, actually, Jenny's wondering what they are. So one is a horse chestnut, one is a sweet chestnut, and I can't tell you which is which. I mean, I'm thinking the sweet chestnut is the one that gets roasted and eaten, and the conker is the what we used to play with kids. And until
health and safety went mental. Yeah.
Exactly. Never did me any harm to be whacked on the hand by a conker on a cold and frosty morning.
After it had been in the oven with some vinegar on it.
Yes, indeed, that's right. Baking them, it's hard, doing all those sort of cheating things to make your conkers go further.
Hammer and nail. Oh,
that's right. Yes, and that's more learning the harder, isn't it? Fantastic. And then you end up with a 362er or something, don't you? A champion conker for the season.
Yeah.
I think we might need to tell Jenny all about this English conker thing. So yeah, Thomas Jennings is the man. I think we need to have him as an asset in our community and spread his name far and wide. So well done, Elsa, for finding that surveyor there. Fantastic. Okay, I think we have we've covered everybody's comments. Keep the questions coming, because we have Claire here who's been there and done that and got the T-shirt basically when it comes to becoming an expat, buying a home, and now a second home. I'm thinking as well, with all the lovely things you've said about your house, we could probably do an auction here and now and probably sell it tonight on. But that, I'm not sure I'm licensed to do that, so maybe.
Well, if they go to my YouTube Fantastic 50s,
yeah.
I've actually put I put together a video all about my house, so they can see it on there.
So you can get
I put a video of olive picking as well with the neighbour, and it was all done by hand. Yeah, so I've got how to make olive oil and a walk in the forest across the road from me. So,
beautiful! Yeah, and this is part of the channel that's also the health and fitness and exercise.
Yeah, it's a health, fitness, it's diet, fitness, and lifestyle. So my Portuguese lifestyle. I haven't done aguardente yet, how to make orange liqueur, but I will do one day.
Well, we'll talk about that in just a moment. I think that's probably the climax of the show, because that's what people really want to know about. But what's the name of the YouTube channel again?
Fantastic 50s, 50'S.
Okay, let me
fabulous 50s. That's a different woman. She's not me.
Oh yeah, don't want to send you there. Is this correct?
Yeah, that's it. Fantastic.
Right, there you go. So that's what you need to be looking at for Claire's many and various and excellent videos, and that people can subscribe there. And how's that project going?
It's great. I've got over 150 subscribers now, and I've had over 6,000 views. I've been going since June, so 6,000 views, and over, I think it's 350 hours people have sat and watched me. God bless them.
Okay, and what is the idea to monetize your channel? That's an income stream, is it, as an expat?
I can't until I have 1,000 subscribers, so I've only got 150.
Come on, folks, tell everybody. let's get Claire to that point. A nice little bit of extra income for an expat here. Found and subscribed already. You've got 151 now. So I think we might. Let's see if we can get you over 200 by the morning. That would be amazing.
That would be one. I'd wake up very happy.
All right. How's that wine? Actually, for 2.89. No, that puts it in a bad way. Like I'm making excuses. It's cheap and it's okay. It's delicious. It's I've given it a chance to breathe. It's not plonk. It's not vinegar. It is pretty special actually, and it's from the Tejo, the River Tejo. It's a 2019, and if my eyesight will allow, yes, it's the Touriga Nacional, the Aragonés and Syrah grapes in there. So a blend, 13.5 by alcohol. It's not hanging in the glass too much. It's got a lovely. Do you know what? It's going towards a kind of porty vibe. Is what I'm getting from this. It's very respectable. I can understand why it was $8.99, and I'm delighted it's $2.89 currently at Continent. So there you go. There's my little review before we talk about booze at Claire and Mark's end of town. I am now on level 9. Is that the system that you have?
Wonderful. Okay. The XPX workout level 9. Awesome.
Oh, right. Hardcore. Drop and give me 20 level 9. That's very good. And you have another Mark Rigby's here, everybody, and he's my guest. I've got to take it on the booze here because Mark and I are doing a radio show at 10 after we've heard about your booze. And so we'll go to radio, not radio silence, obviously, but no visuals. We'll just be doing a radio show like we used to do on a Monday night for old time's sake. We'll be doing an occasional radio show, the Portugal playlist. Delighted to be telling Mark's story through music at 10 or thereabouts after we've finished talking, Claire. So finally then, I think it's
never stopped talking. Have you not noticed?
Did you notice how we said we might do 30 minutes or 45, and we very easily got to 45 here?
I know. I can talk for Portugal.
And you told me you might be tired at this time of night. I see no evidence of that.
I am tired.
All right. So aguardente and brewing liqueur from your own oranges. Please tell us more about that.
So you get your orange and you have to peel the skin off. Still, on the first level, you'll get there. The first level's great.
Okay. There you go, Jenny.
You just
Nothing
keep
to worry about.
going and do as much as you can, because we are over 50 and we're not superhumans, and we just got to do what we can. I mean, I couldn't touch my toes. Do you know? You've got to get in there and just do it gently so you don't hurt yourself.
Very good. Very good.
So
okay, yeah.
getting back to my lovely liqueurs, I love liqueurs. So you peel the orange, and you on the other side of the orange inside, you've got like white pith.
Yes,
I'm
it's
not
got
taking the pith. You've
I
got
know
to get rid of the pith.
Take the pith, definitely.
Get rid of that pith. You've got to scrape it gently, all of it off. And then you just put it in a massive glass jar. I'll get the measurements, and I'll try and get them to you so people can know how much to use.
Awesome.
How many oranges and how much pith and how much aguardent.
Yes.
But I think 1 litre of aguardent and lots of oranges, obviously. I had over 1,200 oranges last year, or this year, 1,200. And there's still coming, there's still more. I've got 5 orange trees. 3 orange trees, 1 tangerine and 1 clementine.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
Someone's going to make an offer on that house before this show's out, for sure.
It's beautiful. I love it. I'm very sad to go, but what can you do?
So you mix up the oranges with the aguardente next time, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and then you leave it to steep, and it goes orange. Awesome. And you leave that for, I think it's 8 to 12 weeks, 8 weeks. And then you've got to mix up a sugar syrup, you know, just water and sugar. You melt that, you make sure it's cold. Then you put that in, and it makes it up to like 5 litres or something. So you've got 5 litres of liqueur. I swear I was giving it away last year. No, I've not got a lot.
Fantastic.
But I made cherry. You just put the full cherries in, like ginger, you know, ginger that they're selling Obidos in little chocolate cups.
Yeah.
So I made my own. You just put the cherries with the pips in, and the aguardent in, and leave it to steep for about 8 weeks again, and then add the sugar syrup. It's really easy when you look into it. Really easy.
I think people are a bit scared of these things, aren't they? But I guess if you approach it with a bit of confidence, and you know what could possibly go wrong. I mean, most people drink whatever comes out anyway, don't they? They're not going to. That's wonderful. We would be very grateful in our Happy Homesteaders group for the info on that. Yes, indeed. And come back when the recipe book is done. Do come back and talk. I mean, you're welcome anytime. You've been a big hit tonight, and it's a lovely. Yeah, let's do it again sometime. Eugene, definitely. Mad Dog McCrossan is loving this. Finally, then, I think everyone knows the answer to this. Would you recommend moving to Portugal? Let me think about that.
120%.
Right. Okay.
Wonderful.
All right. So yeah, fantastic.
Well, and your aguardent, your liqueur, keep it in the freezer. It's best drunk cold, frozen.
Okay. So ice wine style. Okay, fantastic. Anna's gonna try it. It's like we've almost teaching our grandmothers to suck eggs. Anna's a proper Portuguese person, and she's trying this expat recipe tonight. So that's a really nice. Thanks for a great Claire, America. You're a great ambassador for Cernache de Bonjardim. You should Bonjardim, I should say, rather than the French pronunciation.
Bonjardim.
Yeah,
Cernache de Bonjardim.
You should get the keys to the village for this, or at least a Christmas card from the mayor, I think, for singing its praises tonight. Good luck with the house sale. Good luck with the move.
Oh, thank you.
And is Fantastic 50s the way to get in touch with you if people want to do that?
Yeah. It's got my email address in the about page, so they can just email me.
Fantastic. And don't forget, if you, I mean, you're going to get loads of offers anyway, but we do have real estate listings on expatsportugal.com.
Okay.
So maybe pop it on there with your video link as well, and we'll get it sold for you.
I had a viewing last week when I was out picking olives. Mark took them round because he'd finished. And I think we're having a viewing tomorrow. So, yeah, it's all going really well.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic.
Not
All right. No, it doesn't sound like you need to be. All the best to you. Great to talk to you again.
Thank you.
Te logo. Ciao, ciao.
Very nice.
Ciao. Ciao. So we'll leave it there, everybody. Tune in again. I'll put the link to the radio show on the Good Morning Portugal show page. So stay and other, you know how to get in touch with me as well in other ways. Just PM me if you want the link to the radio station, show, everybody. From around 10 o'clock when I'll be talking to Mark and plotting his journey with music. Thanks again, Claire. Take care. Bye for now.
Ciao. Obrigado.